Good morning, children. Today we are going to teach the first lesson from the book First Flight for the students of class 10, that is A Letter to God. So here the writer of this story is G.S. Flintz. So he is an American writer, and it is a very simple story about a farmer. So before we are going to the story, we are going to present you some points, key points before we going to through the story. So first of all, this is a story related to a farmer. So the name of that farmer is Ncert. Ncert is the main character of this story. So here one thing you have noted, seeing the name A Letter to God. Actually we have to know that the story is not the story of present day. It is from a very olden time. So where I can assume that it is older than more than a century. Why I am telling this one? Because there is a measurement of rupees, that is in this North American, this area where the story is located, that is Northern America. So in Northern America, the amount of rupee is calculated or said by peso. So where we can assume that 100 pesos is enough for a family for a year. So all the expenses, that is for food item, for clothes, for medical, and every expenses are calculated 100 peso, that is total expenditure of a year. So from that perspective, we can assume that this story is older, more than 100 years old. First of all, that is. And second thing that you have to know, that is about the letter or post office. So whenever we are telling about the story of 100 years old, that time is very influential for letter writing. So at that period, post offices are very active. Nowadays post office are not used so usually. Now only for the basic requirement like saving monetary department, where we can save money, we can transfer money, or then we can take parcel, give parcel by post office. But on older time, post office was predominantly emphasizing on sending letters and money order. Most importantly, that is money order. As the students, today we are well known about the money sending by mobiles via UPI and many other ways where we can transfer money from one person to another account or one person to another person. So in that time, in olden time, we have only a single method by where we can transfer money to a person to another person who belongs to a distance area. Suppose I am here at Assam and my family suppose is living in Delhi, so I have to send money to there. So the only way we have to send messages at that time through money order. Money order is only the way where we can send money. So we have to go to the post office and we have to fill up a form along with the money and along with the along with the fees or the extra expenses that the post office charges, we have to pay, and the post office employees were engaged in that way that on Delhi the same amount of money will be given to the person whom I write as a address. See the money order form here given in your text. This is the money order form. In this form you have to pay, you have to fill up the form like this to the pay rupees, how many what amount of money you want to pay, that is here given, and then the address is given here. So in this address the money will receiver. This is the sender, sorry, it is sender signature. This is the address of sender, and below the receiver address is given. It is signature of payee and receiver address is given. So in this way, this middle part is only for official use, and that is sender's name and address, and receiver how many rupees he will receive. This is the form we have to fill up and then send via post office. So here now we can go through the story. Here what happened at the very first, it is the description of the house is given here. The house, that is, it is the house of Ncert, and the house, the only one in the entire valley, set on the crest of a low hill. From this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout morning, Ncert, who knew his field intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards northeast. So here, this is the description of the house, the only one in the entire valley. So suppose this is a valley where only one house is there. So see that is the crest of a low hill. You can see here there is a lots of hill, but a low hill, a lower hill, top of a lower hill. So the question arises like that, where is Ncert's house? So Ncert's house is situated on a top of a low hill. It is not on a higher hill, but top of a low hill. So that is the area where Ncert's house is located. So from that height one could see two things. That height means if you stand on Ncert's house, from that upper area on down, below down, you can see two things. And the first of all, the field of ripe corn. First you can see what? The field of ripe corn. It is ripe corn, you can see there. Field of ripe corn. It is the field ripe corn, that is field cultivated by Ncert. And second thing, you can see the river. There is a river going through the downwards, and that river could be seen from Ncert's house. So one thing more you have to know that about the ripe corn, that is dotted with flowers. It is in this stage of the cultivation that is already flowered. So you can very definitely, very clearly can see that the harvest is very well. One could say that on seeing, who knows about the cultivation, one could see and say that it is very well harvesting. So, but it is not yet ripe. It is here written the ripe corn, but actually it is not ripe enough to get harvest. Still there is some requirement, still there is some time needed to get the requirement of harvesting. But it is clear that the harvest is very good. The cultivation or the field that is of corn, that is good enough. And one thing more, that here the main food is corn. Such like that we have the main food, that is rice. We have in Assam we usually take rice, but in Northern America their main food, the primary food, that is corn. So you can see that corn is used for baking, corn is used for making bread, corn is used to make roti also. So this is the main product by which they can utilize their harvesting or their whole year for their crops, needed of crops is fulfilled by the corn. So that is main food. Next thing, what I have already told you, that there is some requirement for the fulfillment of the harvesting, and that is the only one thing the earth needed was downpour. So downpour is needed. Here you can see that downpour is written. So downpour, that is another word that specify for rain. Rain is also called as downpour, and another word for the rain is given shower. Downpour or at least a shower. It is both the words are linked with rain. Rain, we can say rain, we can say downpour, and we can say shower. Here all the three words are same. So if you are asked what things the earth needed or the crop needed, that is rains. In single word you can answer, that is rain is needed for the cultivation of fulfillment of cultivation, that is harvesting of fulfillment of harvesting, that is needed only rain. But it is said like that downpour, that means heavy rain. There is actual requirement is heavy rain. If heavy rain is not fallen, then also a shower is enough for the fulfillment of harvesting. So only thing that is needed for the harvesting, that is rain. So earth needed, that is rain. So throw out morning Ncert. Here for the first time the character appears. The main character of this story appears, that is Ncert. Throw out morning, who knew his field intimately. So at the same time it is given to you that the farmer is very active, who knows his field very widely. So he knows that the rain is very much requirement for the crop. So he was waiting for rain. And throughout morning, on that day, throughout morning, who knew his field intimately had done nothing. Throughout morning he was doing nothing but eagerly waiting for rain. But see the sky towards the northeast. So see towards the sky, that is specification for him that he is waiting for rain, and he knew that today rain might fall. So that's why he was waiting for the rain. Throughout morning, all the day he is waiting for rain, as he knew that his field is required water. So that's why throughout morning he was looking to the northeast. Why northeast area is looked? Because on that area the rain usually comes from the northeastern area of that particular area. So from that region, northeastern area is very much prone to have rain. So that's why again and again throughout morning he was watching to the northeast sky, if rain is coming, if rain is coming. That is the whole day routine for the farmer, waiting eagerly for rain. So now we can proceed to the next paragraph. Now what happened? When he gets sure enough that no, yes, it will fall, that means rain will fall, then he told her, his wife, je, now we're really going to get some water, woman. So at that time, at that moment, he was getting enough sure that now rain is coming, very soon rain is coming. So he told his wife that we are getting to have some rain. So the woman, that is wife of Lencho, who was preparing supper, remember the word supper, replied, yes, God willing. Remember the words here, yes, God willing, God willing. So these are the keywords through which we can very deeply get inside the story. And we are, as a student of new SEBA course system, so we have to go into the lesson, into the throw. In that way, we have to go deeper and deeper, and we have to catch the single word as every single word to its depth, to its analytical options. So here you remember supper, SUPPER, supper. That is a light food. Light food for night. But at the same time, we usually say dinner. You can use the same word dinner also instead of using supper. But supper is specifically denote to the fact of that light food. But dinner is not like that. Dinner may be light or heavy, whatever at night is taken, that is we call dinner. But the food, personally, some people used to take very light at night. So those people who take very less amount of food at night, that can be termed as supper. Next word is very important, that is yes, God willing. So you just can easily assume that they are very devoted to God. They are spiritually connected, religiously connected to God. In their simple words, it is very clear that where Lencho told her wife that it is raining, we are going to have some rain. But wife says, yes, God willing. That might get clear that it is not we are that waiting for the rain and that's why rain is coming. No, it is God's willing. Everything happening in this whole world is God's willing. So that is the word by the word. It is, we can say that the people are very much influential on God. They are very much dependent on God, and their daily activities is depending on God. Whatever happens to their life, it is not for themselves, it is God willing. Everything is going depending on God. So they are like the people of like that attitude is there. So in ancient time, it is not only for them also. Average people who were believer of God, they believe that everything is done by God. Nowadays we are people who are very much depending on scientific way. We are telling that we have done this thing, we have done those things, we have completed those things, we have achieved something. But those people are very simple. In earlier times, people were very simple, and whatever happened to their life, they do not acclaim that it is we have done. It is done by God. If they are God willing, then everything will happen, whatever it may good or may be bad. So the older boys were working in the field. Lencho's boys were working, but Lencho's children, I don't know, or in this lesson it is not given how many children did Lencho have. But we can say that Lencho have more than one children. That's why it is given older children, while older boys, it is plural word. Older boys. were working in the field, while the smaller ones, the smaller boys were playing in the near the house. So the older boys were working in the field and the smaller boys were playing near the house. So then what happened? The woman called to them, called everyone to, for what? Come for dinner. So he called everyone to come and have dinner. So it was during the meal, just as Lencho predicted. Lencho had predicted. So Lencho already had predicted to his wife that rain will fall. So as predicted, big drops of rain began to fall at that time when they were taking dinner. Remember, dinner is usually taken at night, but in olden time the time period is in that way that at night people only sleep. They were very close to nature. So as soon as it gets dark, they get to sleep. Before get dark, they take the dinner. So you don't think that in reading this lesson it is they are going to have dinner, so it is night. No, it is not yet get the night. It is to get the night, but it might be the time of 3 or 4 o'clock. So very soon night will fall down, but yet you remember it is not night. So in northeast, huge mountain of clouds could be seen approaching in northeast eastern area approaching. You can see the cloud, huge amount of clouds is approaching, that is falling rain. Then the air was fresh, as we know that when the rain began to fall after a long period of time, so the atmosphere gets dirty. So after getting the rain, the whole environment gets clear and a sweet smell used to come after rain. So the man went out for no other reason to have some pleasure of feeling of rain on his body. So the man who is Lencho is waiting for rain eagerly to have for his cultivation. So that cultivator is going out. He could not take himself inside of the room because it is raining. He is so enjoying that moment. So that moment he cannot remain at home. He just want to have the pleasure of rain. So that's why he went out of the home and just have the pleasure of rain on his body, the feeling of rain on his body, because it was his huge dream that has come true as rain. So that's why he went out home and have the pleasure of rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These are not raindrops falling from the sky." So he was so excited. After coming home, he feels that these are not raindrops. They are new coins. He seems that these are coins. Why? How can raindrops be a coins? Because his requirement is like a coin. Because the field that is not yet to be ripe, that get to harvest, after getting rain, after getting water, they will turn very quality harvest. That quality harvest will produce money. That's why it is called that they are not rain, they are coins. Even he subdivided the coins. Big drops are 10 cent pieces and little ones 5 cent pieces. So cent pieces is only again the unit of money. Unit of money. We can say paisa like that. Paisa or coin. Rupee is rupee is denoted as pesos, but pice, that is cent pieces. So big drops are told as a 10 cent pieces and small drops are called as 5 cent pieces. So now Lencho is very happy. So after that, irony is happened. So after this lesson, here we are closing this lesson, and then we are on the next video we will discuss about later part of this lesson, and where at first we will discuss about irony. What is irony? The main thing of the story, that is irony, and here irony happens. And if you will able to get some idea of irony, what is irony, you may have the idea at first and then come to the next lesson. There I will discuss myself what is irony, and then we'll go through the remaining part of the lesson. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.